welcome to my second contribution to June's TikTok homeschool conference. If you're watching this on Instagram, there too. I'm talking about language arts today, so I'm going to give you a whole bunch of videos today because I have lots I can say about it. I've been teaching language arts for 20 years. I have things I need to tell you. I didn't tell you this in the UFly video, but I need you to know that if you're going to ask me about a program that is not secular, I am not the person to ask that question of. I don't have enough information on those. I don't personally ever plan to use something that's not secular, so I'm just not the person to ask. Okay, in this video, let's talk about Megawords. I've talked about it before, but people are always asking about it because not many people talk about Megawords. So I'm gonna yap about Megawords. So UFly, like if I were to go and do this again, I would do UFly Foundations, which is what I do with my 8-year-old. Then as my in-between, I would use Word Connections, which is a free program as like the bridge between that and the first level of Megawords. So Megawords, this is all you need to order here. So if you want something that is very low on prep, Megawords would be a good program for you. And it's like basically $50 or less for a level. So very, like, it's not cost prohibitive, I would say, for Megawords. Now, Megawords, how it is set up, every single one of the units isn't like your typical unit. Each unit is list-based, but it's list-based with intention. So you see how list 2, it's VC, CV, closed syllables. So it gives you a list of words that fall into that like category. So basically this list, this unit is on closed syllables. And then you have a lot of words that fall into that list. All of the words in Megawords are multisyllabic. So level 1 begins with multisyllabic words. So you are going to need your traditional phonics program first before you move to this one. Like your kids should have single syllable words figured out before you move to this program. I think level 1 starts, it's like grades 4 to 5. So that's like, you could start it in 3rd, but 4th is like a better age to start. Just make sure they have a very solid phonics foundation before you get to it. So every unit has this list. Then you have a series of activities. Every unit, list-based unit, does not have the same number of activities. However, every unit does have the same number of steps. So that's what you're looking at in terms of like, oh, we have like, this is what we're doing on this day. This is what we're doing on that day. You are doing it based on steps. So step 1 is working with 1-syllable words and word parts. That's step 1. And then they give you which activities go along with the reading for that step and the spelling for that step. So yes, this is a program that also works on spelling. It also introduces a lot of vocabulary words. The other day when we were reading Magnus Chase, my 10-year-old had said something, oh, that's like urban. And I said, how do you know that? She was, Mommy, it's in my Megawords curriculum. So they're also going to be getting vocabulary. And they do pull in vocabulary. They do pull in parts of speech. There is editing that's embedded throughout the program too. So it does pull in a lot of different language arts skills. It also pulls in fluency, which I'll talk about in a second because that gets us to one of the steps. Step 2 works with combined word parts. And they tell you which practice pages to do. This, when you see these gray boxes, that tells you a differentiation strategy you might want to keep in mind for this one. And then you may get to step 3, which is working with the whole word. Again, it tells you which practice pages go along with that. You have the answer keys for all of them inside of the teaching manual for the student workbook. Then you get to step 4, which is working with words in context. So that's where they're going to complete sentences using the list words. They're going to encounter a number of words they didn't already know the definitions for. So this will also help with teaching vocabulary. Then you're going to move to step 5, and that is monitoring progress to increase reading and spelling accuracy. Throughout the program, what they are going to be able to do is keep track of their accuracy using this accuracy checklist, and they do it for each one of the lists. I make a copy of it, and then I put it inside of a binder for my kid. Then there's the word proficiency graph. And then there's there's another word proficiency graph. And then there is a fluency graph. And so that's where they do the fluency with a passage. So they are doing they're tracking their fluency at the word level as well as at the passage level. And I'm going to get to that in just a moment. Then they have step 6, and that is monitoring progress to build reading proficiency. One of the things that I really like about this program is at the end of every single one of the list-based units, they will give kids hold on, I gotta find you an example. Here you go. There will be a passage. See, this is the next part. They will give kids a passage. With that passage, you have list 4 words. So words from that list, words that are a review from previous lists, and then some passage-specific words. So in this one, handy and building are passage-specific words. So you are clocking them for a minute to see how much they can read accurately in a minute. That is something that they get to then chart on their own graph. You could do it for them, but at the age that you're starting with kids, I recommend having the kid do it themselves, because then that gives them more ownership over their learning and they can track their own fluency rates. And then you can also check in with that as well. After each one of the passages, they give questions that really require kids to have understood the passage, and a lot of them to go back to the passage for like finding evidence for it. I think that the questions that they ask based on the passages are very well done, and I give them 2 thumbs up as an English teacher. They also do have like a little review section after lists 1 through 4 in this particular one, and then there is a review at the end of this one, which reviews all of the lists, list 1 through 8, and it gives you like another list there, which is a list of words that are from all of the previous lists. So that's like the general layout for every single one of the list-based units. Some people ask me, well, like, what do you do on each day? And you have to determine how much your kid has the stamina for in the day. And if you're also doing like literature-based work as well with the kids, you might only do like one of the activities on a day. If you're also reading a chapter and answering questions about a chapter, having discussion, doing writing, so you kind of have to decide that for yourself. They don't tell you like what to do each day. They just break down the steps and tell you like which activities go with each one of the steps and what to do for every one of the activities. So you have to kind of determine your schedule based on that. I'd say generally speaking, my 10-year-old does like 2 activities in a day. Sometimes she gets 3 done, but that's sort of our average, is like 2 activities. But this week, when we have been entering into a new a new novel study, we have been like pausing on Megawords for just a moment while we get into the swing of the novel study, and then we'll kind of unpause Megawords and do both of them and figure out how we want to like structure both of those being in a week. So you just have to determine how much your kid can do each one of the days, how much they have stamina for, what else they're doing in the day. So that's something that people will often ask me. Where I get it from, you can get Megawords, like they do have some of it on Amazon, but the last time I checked, they didn't have the newest edition, which is this one with the rainbow on it. The previous editions have a mountain on it. I don't honestly know what the difference is between that one and this one, like how things have changed. I Googled it at one point and couldn't find that information, so I just went with the newest edition. On Rainbow Resources, it will tell you like typical grades for each one of the levels. I mean, if your kids need multisyllabic help, it doesn't hurt to start at list 1. So anyway, hopefully you found that helpful. If you have other questions, obviously I'm happy to answer them. I'm on the like 2nd level that we've done with it, so I have a lot more I could say about it.